went back and we talked about some of the technology that, that some of those national providers are getting to. And so one of our answers to that, you notice we showed a screenshot of the TurboTax mobile app. And as you know, this new generation is really leveraging and using their devices. So what we wanted to walk you through is the ability of how we can provide you with a mobile app that lets you brand your business and put it on your customers' devices. So you're kind of always constant, always present, but also gives them the ability to interact with you in a very powerful way. So we're going to show you the Calculated Entries mobile app, but from your mindset, you can think that when this happens, your mobile app actually can have your logo on it and your brand on it. So again, your brand is on your customers' devices, front and center, constantly with them. So again, as we launch this, you can imagine your logo and your look and feel to it. The first thing you'll notice is we have the ability to toggle English and Spanish, depending upon the preferred language for your customer base. They can toggle back and forth. We also have various links here, so we can link back to your company website. If you don't have one, we can assist you with getting one built. You can also link to your locations, and this will provide a Google Map directory back to your location. So again, they can get directions to how to find your office and very quickly navigate to that. If you have multiple offices, multiple locations can be listed. And then after their initial submission, we'll come back and talk about those requested forms here in a moment. But again, we have customization options for additional charge. You can actually link into your Facebook page, to a Twitter account, other ways if you're really using your social media on that side, we can help you and work with you as far as customizing additional menu items on that side. As we walk through this, one of the things that sets independent EROs apart from the national franchise is the ability to kind of make yourself personalized, that they get to know you. The nameless kind of franchises don't have that benefit, but one of the things that sets you apart is your ability to kind of give yourself a look and a feel. And so what this does is lets you put your staff information up onto the app so people feel like they know you, like they're connected to you. And again, that's a huge advantage you have over the national franchises. So you can load up your picture, you can have biography information, all that information can be listed here on your staff pages for each one of your staff members. And there's no limitation on how many staff members you want to list. Again, the goal of this is really just to make it to have a better look and feel and have them feel connected to you so they want to book an appointment with you. Contact. Again, this makes it very easy for them to contact you by clicking one button. They can call you right from their device with the office phone number you have on file, or they can email the office directly right from their phone. Again, just trying to make those communications and that ability to connect with you very easy. Again, we go back to the point that these folks are trying to get into a place where they're doing more themselves, but we also want to leverage your expertise to make sure they maximize their refunds, maximize the credits they're getting, etc. We also get the ability to do two different calls to action. One is to schedule an appointment. So we actually set you up with an account with a service called setmore.com. There's no charge for it, but it does let you set up all the different services you might offer in this web-based offering. So you can list out tax preparation, if you're doing immigration, insurance work, those can all be listed as different services that the taxpayer can choose from. They can choose your whole office, or you can list off your different preparers differently, and then you get to set up the parameters for the dates and the times that you want to have available appointments. So they can choose that. Once they confirm their information, you get an email to the office saying, hey, you have an appointment that somebody'd like to schedule for this day and this time, and you can, again, reach back out to them to confirm it. You can, again, load that into your existing appointment system if you want to, or you can choose to use setmore.com in your office just from your normal browser window. The other probably most powerful feature on this tool is the return feature. And this basically lets your taxpayer kind of have that do-it-yourself experience that, again, drives them back to your service and back to your expertise. So I'm going to come in, and we're going to start as a new client with this. And the first question it's going to ask me is, hey, if you go ahead and type in some information. If you don't want to type it, but you do have your driver's license information, they can just actually flip it over. And on the back of their driver's license is actually a barcode. And you may not have realized this, kind of an interesting piece of information. And that barcode contains enough data about them to go ahead and pull that information out. All I have to do is scan it here. And you'll notice it grabbed all my information on my driver's license on that side. So I'm going to put in a little social security number here I can use for our demo purposes. And as I scan down, you're going to notice it's got my ID information. If I had dependents, I could enter up to 5 dependents on there. I can also choose my filing status. So I can put in single for our purposes here. My occupation, start typing that information in. I click on next, and I get to the next screen, and it has basically my address information is already preloaded. So again, we've tried to make this so easy for the taxpayer to work with you on that because they've already got their information on there. I just choose a cell provider, and you notice that kind of starts to match up with some of the fields in the software. So the idea is we're going to import all this information right into the system that way. You can set up different coupons for yourself. So if you, again, want to incent folks to use this app and to do business with you, we have customers that will offer anywhere between 10 and 20% off for folks that do the app, because once they hit submit, you've got their information in the file and you've locked them up in that case. So there's some significant value to be able to do that. You can track a referral. If somebody referred them, I can put in my email address so I can contact them. That's one required field so they know how to reach back out to them. And again, I just choose which location I want to have. So if you have multiple offices, they can choose which office they're closest to, and you can assign an email address to each one of those offices. So when you get a submission, that office can get that email and say, hey, you've got a submission. You can now, and we'll show you in a minute how you load that right into the software on that side of it. So we click on Next, ask them how they want to file. In this case, we'll say they're going to e-file into a bank product. The next step in the process is asking what documents do they have that they want to send their preparer. So I'm going to click on Yes, I have a W-2. I'm going to take a picture of it. Now we have a couple different versions of the app. One that will just take pictures of those documents and load those into the document archive. And then there's an enhanced version where we license some third-party technology to actually do an OCR scan, which means it's actually looking character by character, and it's going to attempt to scan it so that it can actually create that W-2 in the software for you to save you the typing on it. So I'm going to say taxpayer, gives me a couple hints as far as how to lay the W-2 down so I can take a picture of it and scan it. Turn my device sideways, take a picture here. It's going to say go ahead and try to use that photo. So now it's going to go through that process to see if it got a clean photo to go ahead and scan each of those characters on that system. So it's going to give me a couple tax tips here while I'm waiting for that scanning to happen. And in that process, it's basically looking for whatever information it can to recognize those characters so it can actually load that into the system on that side of it. So wait for just a second here. It tells me it has scan success. So you'll notice it pulled in the information. All I have to do is look down and confirm all the information came through correctly. I click Next, and I want to submit it. When we come back, it's going to say, hey, do you have another W-2? So they can load as many W-2s as I want. For purposes of time, I'm going to say we don't have one. It does also do 1099 MISCs, so 1099 MISCs, it can actually scan and character recognize those as well. I'll say I don't have one. We'll say for a Social Security card, I'll take a picture of my health card again here just so you can see how they can scan all the source documents you're going to need on this. I just click on the camera. It's going to take a picture of it. And again, from a security perspective, once they submit, these photos disappear. So if they were to go back into the app, that data would not be there from a security perspective. I won't upload another. We'll do a driver's license. We'll just, again, show you an example of another item that they can load here very quickly. So again, very simply, they can just take pictures and load those in that case. We're going to use the photo. And it's going to ask them if they want to do another one, and we'll say no. Now, miscellaneous could be school records. It could be their 1095A. It could be anything else they want to send you. I'm going to say no. And so at the bottom of this, all we have to do is click on Submit. The taxpayer is going to get an email that says, hey, thank you for your submission. The tax office will be back in touch with you shortly. And then you, as the tax office, also get an email that says, hey, you have a submission from this app. Once you get the number in that email, you'll be able to come into the system here, type in that number, and what this is going to do is, oops, hang on there, get the right numbers in there. And what it's going to do is actually going to query the server. So you have your own server set up that is private to you, and this is going to go say, hey, do you have any submissions that match this number? And so what it's going to do is it's going to go search for that information and say, hey, we do have a match, and if it does, it's actually going to retrieve all the information that I scanned in up there and load it right into the tax software. So again, I open this up. You'll come to the familiar client data screen here. You'll notice all the information from my driver's license got scanned in here, the cell phone information, my filing status, my address. All the information I entered got entered in there correctly. It also entered my W-2 here, so that information came through. And then my document archive also loaded up all the different documents I had. So I can just open it up and see the pictures of the different documents clear as day that I can go ahead and start on that return. So again, we have folks that work with clients near military bases, places that are very transient, and when those folks leave, they don't want to necessarily go to a different preparer, so this mobile app helps them basically service those customers that might have moved away and really expands the reach of their tax business to cater to people that maybe are busy and don't want to come into the tax office for a long time, but again, that do-it-yourself mentality that still drives them back for your expertise. And so this is a huge benefit that we've seen with our clients really trying to expand their businesses, put them on their customers' devices, and really leverage the power of this technology to go out and carve out a piece of that do-it-yourself market to come back and use the technology.